not First Nations people from 200 years ago pre-contact. We're First Nations people that have a really interesting dark history in this country, and so now we're coming out of that. It's powerful that we have the ability to be able to control the parameters of how we re-emerge into the world.
Each person in the group is an artist of some sort. All of us have this desire and passion within us to be creative.
We have two different views and two different worlds coming together to try to make something that works.
Because we were doing the really true fusion piece more in a traditional style, and we really take it in a whole new electronic direction.
In our art form, I think a lot of people are scared of technology. It doesn't necessarily make you a more creative person, but it gives you the ability to be able to try new things and to evolve.
So we're very, very much still who we are in the Deconstruct, Reconstruct show, but we're also being a little bit political in the whole message of we're deconstructing our colonial past and we're reconstructing our true identity. But you can also relate that to the music itself. Songs that we sing really follow that format of inline Tlingit style, right? And a little bit of Athabascan too, because many of us have Athabascan ancestry as well, or Dene. You'll see us and you'll know it's us. You know, we're not coming out completely different.
Well, part of my thinking behind bringing somebody else in was just, I wanted somebody that knew us but didn't know us, that has seen us and knows who we are, but doesn't actually know the inner workings behind the scenes of what we do and how we connect to each other and how we relate to one another.
A lot of the time when you're working in music, people are like, I'm a guitar player, like I'm a drummer, like we're a rock band. But I mean, they're all visual artists and carvers and making their regalia and writing the songs. You know, it's a really vibrant cultural movement just to be a part of a group like this.
Dancing in a dance group is not an easy thing. It's not. A lot of people have differing opinions. People might have different needs, you know, and expectations. So we have to kind of bring ourselves back every now and then to the same page as much as we can, and if not, to compromise as much as we can.
We gotta transition into Mandarin, and then we're dancing back up onto the stage.
Do you understand?
It's okay. I'll figure it out. No, we should be going in the other way.
There was a definite sense of theater in this performance comparative to what we would normally do with our traditional, more organic performances. But we also, I think, understood that this is a new remix, and it was very nerve-wracking because I really didn't know how people would take it, you know, because there's a lot of people who, even leading up to the performance, was kind of naysayers, you know, say we should not be messing around with that.
I checked with my elders, I asked my grandparents, I asked my aunties, I asked my uncles, I said, is this okay? And they said, yeah, I think it's great. You're doing good work.
Oh, yeah, and it's to the recording, right? But we just have to watch time for the repeat. I was nervous. You know, are we going to remember everything? Is everything going to go right? You know, do we remember all the choreography? Are we going to pull this off? Is someone going to fall down the stairs? Are elders going to be okay? Is everything? I always worry about all of that. But as soon as we start singing and we come together, I feel the stress just leave me. And then dancing down, you know, onto the stage, and I look out and I see our people. I see friends and family and colleagues and Indigenous people, and I see them smiling. It just really, really strengthens me. Sometimes I see people crying. I think they're just so overwhelmed with how amazing it feels and how healing it is for our songs to be sung.
When you think about like what performance art was in ancient times, like they would be inside of a house, and they didn't have stage lighting. They had a fire. They would have a little fire pit in the front. So that would be like the only light that you'd be able to see. That would be like your spotlight. That would be your stage lighting, is just a small fire.
I love every song, every single song. I just absolutely love them. But there's like moments in each, you know, each of them that just really speak to me. And one of them was the group singing very, very faintly in the background for Spirit of Carving.
So we dance in a traditional style to the remixes, but I tried to push people to like be more expressive with it, because some dancers are really shy. And so I really wanted to try new things and base it off of like videos that I've seen of old stylized Tlingit dancers, because they would dance really intensely and really powerfully. So I tried to bring that out in myself as well.
The way that we do things with love and intention, it leaves a mark. It leaves an energy. So that's why we always strive to do our best, to put our love into things, to put your best foot forward, to do the best that you can. We spent so long being forced down, and we spent so long pushing each other down. We do this so that we can strengthen each other. We don't do this for pride or for ego. We do this to strengthen one another, so we can be together and nobody will be left behind, so that everybody will have a chance.
Said, okay, these are our drums, these are our rattles, and so he was able to put those onto a drum kit. And so he can perform along with us at the same time. So he's got his own drum electronically.
The one thing that Daniel really added to it too was just his own personality as well. Like just like everyone in the dance group, everyone's got their own personality, bouncing around, and he's drumming hard, and like I really feed off of him drumming and him getting the crowd all jacked up.
People told me that, it made them cry, it made them feel proud. Some of my colleagues and friends and cousins and people saying, my child came with me and they just went crazy.
We saw, a lot of smiles and tears even, and I think it brought a whole new sense about looking at our culture in a different way.
Everybody that I've talked to said it's a really good show. They really enjoy it. It flows well. It inspires people, and it's given our dance group a lot more confidence.
When I can't go and perform anymore, then we're teaching the next generation of kids who want to be DJs and want to be electronic drummers and also want to be rooted in the traditional aspects of their culture. We can teach them, and then they'll be the ones sharing this message and sharing this music and the music that they create.
So I think part of it is just looking at the work that we've completed, and then where do we want to go from here? Because we're still very much a traditional style dance group, and that's what we started out as, and that's what we want to be.
The digital world, even though how wonderful it is, it's still kind of a fake world. It's not really, doesn't really pay true tribute to who I think we're supposed to be in this world. And that's to live amongst each other, amongst the land, amongst the animals. I think that that's really important. And we're venturing further and further away from that. And so in seeing the younger generations, I'm starting to see amongst other dance groups a lot of younger dancers coming up. I think it's our responsibility as we learn more, as we gain wisdom within our life, to be able to see. It is wonderful to see the modern world and how it's changing, but we also cannot forget who we really are.
Because we all know why we do this, for the most part, it's because we have to. We don't have a choice. We have to perpetuate our culture. We have to bring it forward, because our elders, they survived, like an on-purpose genocide to eradicate them. And then our parents, worked so hard to establish basic human rights for us as Indigenous people here in the Yukon. And now it's our responsibility to reclaim our identity, to bring it back, you know, to bring it out. And I see, everywhere I look, I see such a resurgence of, you know, people engaging and feeling good about who they are, which is such a departure from when I was a child and a teenager, because we were made to feel like we were nothing from society. We were, right? So that's that initial vision and desire to keep walking forward and to create something better for our descendants is a real driver for us, you know. So, but in the process, we get to have so much fun and we get to do what we love. So it's great. It's a win-win.